Hey guys, Grassman here, and today we're going to talk about the top 10 defensive mistakes people make in Island War. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the mistakes, and I'm going to explain why they're bad. There's a cat who's attacking me with purring. So I'm going to go over what the mistakes are, why they're bad, and then we're going to go look for some examples. You just... You're so sweet. Okay. I'm going to try and have to ignore him for now. So, mistake number one, and they're not in any particular order either. So, but they're just the 10 most common mistakes I see people making. So one, putting vital buildings too close together. This one I can probably show you right off the bat just by looking for a map and then leaving. So right off the bat, all three of them are just in this back corner. So you don't want those buildings close together because it allows the enemy to rush you really easily. Here, I could just attack and instantly have all three buildings. It's super easy. So, putting the buildings way too close to each other, you want to spread them out. If you have them in 3 separate places, then they have to go fight your entire army. Here even, the guys at the back wouldn't even be alerted that there's anyone here. So don't put your main buildings, which is your gold mine, your army camp, and your town hall too close together. And he's actually screwed up again here. He's done the mistake number 3, using too many bombs. So we'll get to that. Mistake 2 is using too many attacking buildings, which again, we can probably find a guy fairly easily who's done this. So here, look at how many attacking buildings he has. Do you guys have any idea why this might be bad? I'm going to show you. So watch what's going to happen when I get up to those buildings. Boom. Both are gone by a bomb immediately. And that was just one bomber who took out those. That's not even what I meant. What I kind of more meant is what happens when like the melee and the ranged guys get up to them. Which once the giant here dies, we should get to see. We didn't quite get to see. But the point is, with too many attacking buildings, once the guys actually get to them, they don't have a lot of health. If you compare a level 5 archer tower, if you look at its health, it has 5,000 health. Comparing that to cards, a level 5 swordsman has 1,600 health, and there's 9 of them. So 9 times 1,600 is over 15,000. It's over 5 times as much. So too many buildings will make you really weak. Sorry. So too many attacking buildings will make it really easy. Once the guys get there, you're just screwed. Because they're just so weak and they get destroyed so easily. A couple in like back areas, you can see like I have 3 up here. Those are okay. Because a couple, they can hit pretty much the entire map. So just having a few is fine. 2 or 3 or 4 maybe. But more than that isn't good. Mistake 3 is using too many bombs, which we saw with the other guy. The reason bombs are bad is because they can be incredibly easily defused just by a paratrooper. And this is something a lot of people seem to forget. Paratroopers exist. If you use too many bombs, can be very easily defused by paratroopers. So unless you're fighting someone who doesn't know what a paratrooper is, and in the later game you won't be, I assume. You should be fighting people that know what a paratrooper is. There's another problem if they don't. So bombs can be really easily defused. So using too many bombs, it's taking away space from your other guys. For every bomb, that's another space you can't put a guy. You can't put an archer or a melee guy, or a giant or something. So every space you use, that's another space. Every space you use for a bomb, that's another space you can't use for something else. And because they can be defused so easily, it's like if you had your frost archers and I just dropped a paratrooper on them and they just all instantly died. It's a huge waste of space. A couple is okay. I personally use none. I don't think they're worth it. But too many will always screw you. And 4, putting them too close together. This is something that I've sometimes seen with people that overuse bombs. If I look for a little while, we might be able to find something like that. Okay, so 4 is putting bombs too close together. And 5 is putting them in useless spots, which I'm going to look for some examples of both now. So 5, putting them in useless spots. Explain to me what this bomb up top is going to do. How is this ever going to get used? No one's going to be there to set that off. I don't even need to defuse it. If you put it somewhere knowing it's going to get defused, at least you've wasted the paratroopers. The other thing is putting them too close together. I see people a lot that when they overuse bombs, they stick like 3 in a row right next to each other. The only problem is, 3 in a row right next to each other, one paratrooper put in the middle of them will defuse all 3. Here, these 2 like this. Just gonna drop 2 paratroopers in there. Watch what happens. Never mind. I wasn't quite on the square. So you do have to use multiple paratroopers. Did it blow? There. So you do have to use multiple paratroopers. But even if you're using multiple paratroopers, the fact that they're in the same area means, like, think of what happens if an Arctic wolf runs across it. They both blow. It takes so long for the one to blow, the other one gets activated and also explodes. I have seen it before. I guess I don't know what happened. I've seen it before where one paratrooper can deactivate 2 or 3 at the same time. Because they just landed in the perfect middle spot. And putting them too close together, it just means anything that, like, if it touches both the tiles, they're both going to get unnecessarily diffused. And you need to make use of the bombs, because again, every bomb is another space you don't have for something else. So you need to make use of the bombs, and putting them too close together just runs way too big of a risk of multiple being diffused by the same guy. Again, putting them too close together, if you were able to put two that close together, you've probably done something wrong. You've probably put too many. So similar mistakes there. Number 6, leaving buildings alone and forgetting about paratroopers. This is something that, like, even I almost make this mistake. My base doesn't do amazing at fighting this, because of how mine's just is. So, something I notice a lot of people forget is paratroopers. Paratroopers exist. So, think for a second, what happens if I'm training against myself? Watch what's going to happen here. I'm going to target here, because the buildings are all around here. I'm going to have to go to the front yet. I'm going to start here. Attack there. I'm just going to drop the paratroopers up top, because there's no bombs. What's going to happen here? Who's killing those paratroopers? The frost archers. What would be happening if those frost archers weren't there? The paratroopers would just easily destroy the town hall, and the other 2 buildings are already gone. You saw that? So, I haven't seen this one as commonly. Remember, they're not in any specific order. This is probably the least common one I see. But I often see people, like, abandoning buildings. Okay, first, so, like, look. There is no building up here drawing people out here. So, 3 bombs all in the same area for no reason. Second, what's protecting these guys? If the archers down here are distracted, these spearmen and the frost archers, I can just drop paratroopers onto that thing, and they won't get fought off. Look on my island. There's frost archers right next to the building. I've seen this a couple of times, like, really bad, where people just leave their buildings. They'll have, like, this map, and all 3 buildings are up top. But then there is nothing anywhere defending those 3 buildings from a paratrooper attack. I swear, people forget there are paratroopers in this game. They are a huge element, and they are used to defuse bombs, which is why bombs are bad, and you can't just leave buildings alone. Paratroopers are... A lot of this is because of paratroopers, and you have to remember, people have paratroopers. I could make a video on how to use paratroopers, and I probably should. So that was 6. 7. I just have some written notes here. I'm gonna have to... Poor use of walls. Okay, so with the wall thing, I've seen people misuse walls a lot. There's kind of 2 main ways you can use walls. You can use them on the inside to defend things like the archers here. I have them all, like, walled in. Or you can put them around the edge. And if you have them around the entire outside and only one opening, if there's walls around the entire outside and I put my guys here, most of them will just start walking over to the opening. But the problem I see so many people making is they just completely put walls around the outside. That is such a mistake. Because it means no matter where they invade from, they're immediately going to break the wall. Meaning all it is a tiny little extra bit of defense. Whereas if you leave one opening just wherever you want, they will walk all the way around there, go in, and then they have to walk all the way back, giving so much more time for your archers to do things. Do not just seal your island off. That is the worst thing. seal it off, but leave one gap somewhere. And leave it optimally somewhere you want. Me leaving my gap here isn't the smartest thing, but they do have to walk around the other side anyway, so maybe it's fine. Of course, I haven't walled around the entire outside anyways. I just tried to stop them from getting to these side guys. And tried to force them into the brawlers and giants. So either wall up your insides or wall up your outside except for one piece. And I see so many people either completely wall up their outside or like just not even use enough walls. I see so many people with like 10 or 15 walls. You can have 28 just by level 11. You should be able to put so many walls, but people like don't have enough, and I don't think they upgrade their walls either. I'm noticing walls are extremely weak. Use your walls. They're a very, very valuable resource, and use them properly. Again, like I said, completely around the edge except for one opening somewhere. Possibly just bring them around the back. Force them to, if they want to go in the front, they have to come around the side. And then they have to go around here, and then all the way up. So, leave one gap somewhere, or protect your middle guys. I protected my middle guys, and I've left these just... I've put the rest of the walls here to try and force them into the middle, just to get distracted. So that was 6. That was 7. Hang on. Okay, so, mistake number 8. Using too many multi-troop cards. So if I could get a screenshot of this one. So you see this? Look at how many multi-troop guys he has here. He's got a whole bunch of wolves, lots of brawlers, lots of... Look at how many multi-troop guys he has. Everything on the lower field, other than the one giant and the one axe guy, whatever his name is, are multi-troop units. And you know what's bad about that? The AoE in this game is crazy. The hulking hurler, the snowman, and the fire mage do so much damage, and the spear throwers can hit multiple targets wherever they throw their spear. So you have 4 guys kind of doing AoE damage. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you have 4 guys capable of doing AoE, plus the wind mages, that's 5 guys. And is that even it? 1, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down there, and then possibly 6 if you count the bomber. 6 guys who have AoE capabilities, and you've just chosen to do all grouped guys. Like, look at mine. I've got solo guys out here, I've got a solo back here, I've got, like, the solos up top. Even, like, using a fire mage versus the ice archers, the frost archers. Fire mage is 800 hit points. These guys have 1920. Yeah, that's weird. That is weird. The solo guy has less health than one of the multi-guys. But regardless, using way too many multi-troop guys is horrible. It's going to totally screw you over. And it actually kind of ties in with point number 9, which is not using giants on defense. I've seen people who often don't... This is, again, one of the lesser used mistakes. Maybe like 9 if 1 is the most common made mistake. It's not using giants on defense. And not many people do this, but some people totally don't realize you can use giants on defense. Or they just think it's useless. But it's actually really important. Having these giants or frost titans to just draw the fire while all your archers in the back shoot is so important. Yet I see people often not doing it, or not doing it with enough. I see 1 giant on defense, or 1 frost titan. I should be seeing 2 or 3. 2 at least. This is a level 4 and a level 5 giant. And I think I actually have a stronger level giant I should be putting in here. Do I? I have another 4. So I could upgrade it to 2 5s. But you should always have at least 2 giants on defense. They are really strong. And, like, them with the brawlers here, this just creates a line that takes a long time to get through if anyone actually wants to try and get through there. And then all of the archers can hail onto them from there. And I know most people are probably going to attack from back here. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people attack from here, because I think they're going to have to walk up the steps. So, use giants on defense. I've seen actually quite a few people doing this. If you haven't seen this, you'd be surprised how many people don't do this. I'm surprised I've seen so many people not using giants. It's not a lot. It's not like a majority or anything. A majority of people I'd say like 90% of people or 90 to 95 make one of these mistakes. Even I kind of make the mistake of using too many multi-troop cards. And I do need more, like, Templars and stuff. I just don't have enough of them. I do need more Templars and Berserkers. I just don't have enough at the moment. And then mistake number 10 is not using enough Spearmen, Frost Archers, and Snowmen. Again, this might be the least made mistake, and we're gonna go look for it. But surprisingly, I see so many people here. This guy's got 2 groups of these guys, 2 groups of these guys, 2 groups of these guys, 2 bomber. Okay, never use bombs on defense. I'd say that's like the number 11 mistake. I was considering writing that, but not enough people do that. Don't use these bombs on defense. That's tip 11. Don't use bombs on defense. And then look over here, he's got normal archers. The Frost Archers, the Snowmen and Spearmen are AoEs, and the Frost Archers do freezing. They are so important, yet I see so many people screwing this up. So look, he's got 3 Snowmen, a Frost Archers, and the 2 Spearmen. Okay? He's got no Giants. I even said, people sometimes don't use Giants. Where the hell is his Giants? Giants aren't that hard to come by, but they're so important. And he's put the bombs in kind of useless spots again. Who is ever going to trigger this bomb? I've seen... It doesn't happen, like, often, but I've seen people screw up so much. This guy has no Frost Archers. Look at this. No Frost Archers. I see no Snowmen. And I see 1 group of Spearmen, or Hunters, whatever they're called. So all he has is he has 2 Fire Mages, the Wind guy, and these guys, and that's it. Having a Wind guy is important. Having 1 or 2 is good. But you should not be preferring Wizards over Snowmen and Frost Archers. What's the majority of this guy's things? He's got way too many defensive buildings, and he's got a whole bunch of just grouped guys. I see 1 Berserker, and I'm still not seeing Giants. You might think a lot of this you won't see, but surprisingly, so many people are making at least one of these mistakes. I struggle to find a base that doesn't make at least one of these mistakes. Too many buildings, too many grouped guys. I don't see a single Frost Archer. So many people make these mistakes, and I admit, even I probably make some of them. I slightly make some of them. This one's good, this one's good. This one's got a useless bomb. Who the hell is going to trigger these? You don't even need to walk up here because there's no building up there. You need to walk up to the other 3. And, again, why the heck is there a bomb here? These bombs don't get triggered by guys on lower levels, guys. A guy on a lower level will not trigger these bombs. It is not worth putting bombs there. That's completely useless. Do I suffer from any of these? I don't put my buildings close. I don't use too many attacking buildings. I don't use bombs at all. So that's the next 3. 7 was the walls. I cover my middle and walls. 8, too many multi-troop cards. I do suffer from 8 a bit. 9 is Giants on defense, which I do use. And 10 was not enough Spearmen, Snow Archers, and Frost Archers, and Snowmen. Which, I probably could use some more of something there. I could probably take out one of the multi-troop cards or something and put in some more Frost Archers or something. Or more Spearmen. I only have 1 group of Spearmen. But, like, okay, so of all of that, I slightly use too many multi-troop cards, and that's about it. And I leave buildings alone. I've left this building slightly too much alone. The town hall, and the other 2 can kind of be rushed. That's probably my biggest weakness. I've kind of left the building alone. If those Frost Archers are dealt with, I'm kind of screwed. But so many other people. If I can just hop into any battle, and I'd say 95% at least will screw up here once. Look at all these multi-troop cards. It's all just these defending guys. And I see there are 2 Giants, but where the heck is this Giant gonna move? He's walled in. He has to move all the way around the side here. And then he has to come all the way around to here to defend this one, or all the way around the things to defend this one. Put your Giants in smart spots, like here. I was having trouble I was thinking I would have trouble writing the list because of how few people actually screw up. And then I looked into it, and so many... Look at all the buildings, and there's no Giants. The buildings have, the least health of anything. They have, The buildings have such little health, and the Giants have such high health. The Giants are an S-tier card, and people aren't using them on defense. That's a huge screw-up. I'm gonna like go look at the other guy's tier list. I'm gonna make like my personal adjustments to it, and I'm gonna make a video on that. I agree with his giants in S. That is, the buildings I would give an F. The buildings are so bad, maybe an E, because they can hit most of the map. But they have such little health. And the giants have so much health. It is, like, for this guy, take out some of those buildings and put in giants. I see no frost archers. I see this one guy here. But, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And he's clumped his buildings again. They're all right here. All the buildings, except for the one up here, which I can just paratroop, because he's left it alone. That's how easy this is, because people are screwing up so bad. Like, if you go... I'm going to tell you these things again. Go look at the bases. Tell me if you can find one base that doesn't at least slightly screw up in something. Even I've screwed up slightly by using too many AoEs. So, 1. Putting vital buildings too close to each other. That's the 3 main buildings that people keep sticking next to each other. Using too many attacking buildings. Using too many bombs. Putting bombs too close together. Putting bombs in useless spots. 6. Leaving buildings alone and forgetting about paratroopers. Just forgetting about paratroopers. That could be a thing on its own. It's so important to remember. Paratroopers exist. 7. Poor use of walls. 8. Using too many multi-troop cards. 9. Not using giants on defense. And 10. Not using enough spearmen, frost archers, and snowmen. I will be surprised if anyone can find a single base that does not screw up at least slightly in one of these ways. Where are the giants? There's no giants. This is probably one of the best setups, and there's no giants. And there's too many healing cards. What the heck are these nuns gonna heal if there's no giant? There's spearman is stuck in the back there. The wizard is closer to the edge than the spearman, and what the heck are the nuns gonna heal? They've got nothing to heal. Stick them up here where there's some actual melee fighters. What are these nuns gonna heal? They're all gonna die before the spearmen get over there. I could, like, extend this list to top 20 mistakes people make, because there's so many things people keep doing wrong. But that is the top 10, and if you guys are seeing this, try and turn your base to something similar to this. Or try and, like, this, but edited. This, but better. Do not keep making the same... Do not do anything on these 10 things. So many people screw up, and those bases can be exploited so badly. Because if there's no giants, it's just a rush. If the buildings are all too close together, it's a rush. It's just if there's too many bombs, you just defuse them all, and then it's just super easy to get through. Upgrade your army camp. This gives you more paratroopers and a higher level one, so you can stand the archer fire a little while longer to set off the bomb. This thing, too, upgrading army camp. Make sure you do that. And then the paratroopers can just exploit in so many ways. And again, almost everyone screws up in at least one of these ways, and I recommend, if you've seen this video, try to avoid this. Look, he stuck all 3 of his buildings, it's just 5 buildings. What the heck is stopping a paratrooper attack? I would not fight this one normally, because his cards are all too high level. But look, I'm just gonna set off those, and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for my paratroopers to recharge, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do at the end. Just no, hang on. We've got lots. Watch what's gonna happen. The assassins go there. If I would have done a better job distracting those archers, it would have worked better. But look how good this has already happened. I've already destroyed 2 of their buildings. Their frost archers there are extremely weak. And I'm just gonna wait. Now that they've left, what's defending this place? He's literally just sealed in all of his melee guys here. So the army camp is slightly protected. But, like, if you took away this wall in between the army camp and the capital thing here, these guys would be able to defend it. That would be much smarter than what he's actually done. Now, my guys were actually very underleveled. I didn't want to go into this fight because I knew my guys were underleveled. So, I figured I would lose because they were underleveled. But still, assuming the guy was higher level, that could have destroyed them. And he looked like... there was nothing defending those buildings other than those lower level archers. And had something been able to kill them... And even me, like, if these archers are distracted, my main building is screwed, and then the other 2 can just be... If you attack from this direction, the other 2 are screwed. Everyone screws up. And when building your base, I'd say just know what these mistakes are and try to avoid them. Because they are, like, any one of them can be crippling. And I would just say, number one advice, do not use bombs. Ever. They're not worth it at all. So I hope this has helped you make your base. I don't actually know, like, I don't know how to make a good base. I know how to avoid the bad things. I can, like, look at my base and find problems everywhere. I have no idea how to fix them, but I'm not making giant, horrible, flawed problems. So, be careful. Be careful of these 10 main mistakes. They are probably the things that will get you killed the fastest. They are the worst 10 mistakes you can make that will get your base destroyed. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Hopefully this can help you with your base. And if you watch for these. If you see any of these mistakes in someone else's base, you should know how to exploit it. So, hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Remember, if you enjoy my content, feel free to like and subscribe. Bye, guys.